Hello and welcome to the Out Motorsports After Dark podcast, a casual late night show for automotive enthusiasts. If you're tuning in for the first time or the 40th time, I don't know that we've had 40
Have we
episodes,
done 40
but
of these?
if you're tuning in, Out Motorsports is the community for LGBTQIA driving enthusiasts from around the globe, where our motto is cars as you are. Tonight, I am your host, Matthew, and I am the 93 octane you're putting in the Miata to stop it from pinging.
I am in desperate need of a Genius Bar appointment, Ian Blankenship.
And I'm that USB port in your car that only does charging and not data for Apple CarPlay. I'm Jake.
And on tonight's show, we're going to start with a summer recap, what we have been up to. We'll touch on some of the new and interesting cars that came up over the hot season. And then I do have a few interesting questions that I'd like to hear some solutions for from the gang. I'm going to start with Ian. What have you been
for
up
the
to?
summer,
Anything new?
Honestly, I didn't do a whole lot. We already talked about how we went to Wisconsin and we did the rally, and that was in June, and that was a great time. My summer was mostly consumed by work and not a whole lot of car stuff. I did get the windows tinted on my Z4, which was something that I'd been wanting to do for a while. And that's been nice. I think that 21-year-old plastic really needed some UV protection, and it's happy to have it. No plastic was broken in the process of getting the windows tinted, so that's
we love that.
A bonus.
What percentage of tint did you do? Because I want to do this, and I'm terrified of not being able to park the car at night.
In Kansas, the legal limit is 35%, so that's what I went with.
So what you're admitting to on a podcast is 35%.
Yeah, no, that's what it is.
Okay.
That was my option. That's what I have on the Focus as well, because my nearly 40-year-old eyes cannot do dark tint at night, so I'm not going to go any darker than is legal.
Yeah, I think that 35 would do good on the Mercedes, Jake, because when you have a darker interior, it helps.
Yeah.
Whereas if you had a white interior with 35, you could probably go darker.
Yeah. It has old tint on it that I peeled off the driver's window because it was peeling off already. But the rest of it needs to get redone because it's turning purple. So my fear comes in because I once owned a 2010 Range Rover that had factory tint and the previous owner tinted over it. And you literally could not park it at night because you just hit stuff. So I had to peel that all off immediately. But
it's
I'm a
paint
little
over
scarred.
wallpaper.
Exactly. Well,
But Ian, do the dashboards on those Z4s, do they suffer a lot of cracking in
the
other
dashboard?
models?
Not really. I mean, it's a really typical BMW of that era. The dashboard's fine. It's the plastics everywhere else, I don't even know what you call it, bulkhead. I don't know, the beige plastic that really makes up the whole section behind the seats and the speaker grills and the headrest area. That is super fragile. Mine, it's cracked and broken in a few places where the top goes down, but fortunately around the center console, mine has not cracked yet. And I say yet because it will.
I mean,
it will. It just will.
She lives in the sun. The top is always down.
Mm-hmm.
As a good convertible owner should have it.
Yeah. But I mean, really, apart from going to the Out Motorsports rally in Wisconsin, I have not done a whole lot of car stuff this summer. Just work.
Oh man, we need to go over to your work and tell them to sort it out, because you do need to get rid of the Focus and buy a Fiat 500C A-bar.
I support this.
I'm shopping. Yeah.
I have not had much happen. The biggest thing will be the Pumpkin Spice Out Motorsports Rally, which was phenomenal. It was such a good time. Jake had some very cool cars out there. The Aston was my favorite. The Bentley was probably the most astonishing. And it was just really nice to see friends from all over. That event pulls people from so far, and it ends up being the one time a year that I see most of the people there.
Yeah. Pumpkin spice. That's my goal for next year. Is I gotta be there. I've missed too many of them.
Well, we are going to be back there, and we will be doing it again in September sometime.
It's hosted at Camp Out, which is a campground. And so it's nice because the compound is so big and you can walk everywhere. So once you park your car, you can walk to the pool, you can walk to like the pavilion, you can walk to where they have the store. It's just a grand old time. It feels like a big playground almost.
Yeah, it
looks like a cool place.
It's very I mean, I was going to say summer camp, but it's literally a campground. So that is exactly what it is. Yeah, that was a really good time. I mean, that was the single biggest event we did ever. It was 152 people. So there's a whole team that did it, and they're all fantastic. And then all the support from the OEMs and all that was just, I mean, it was astonishing how much we could pull off. So now we have to do it again next year, which...
they're going to run out of fields.
Yeah. I mean, we moved, like, Ian, if you haven't seen this place, but the past few years we've used a field that's a little further in the campground that's up by a campsite that Lance, one of our team, owns with his husband. And we maxed that field out last year at 80 cars.
Wow.
They were parked all around the edge and everything. So then this year they gave us a field that they had to regrade just so we could use it, but they gave us a field at the front of the campground, and that has much more capacity. So we had 100 cars that drove in the rally. More than that showed up because some people came and just rode. So probably 120.
That's so many. That's huge.
It's really, it's so funny when you see it all, because you know, right before the rally starts, that's when everybody's going to be there. And then some people, people peel off, but, it at the same time looks like a whole lot of cars and a whole lot of people. And also, like, this is really it. But just because the scale of, like, the field is so big, the campground is so big. And I'm a bad judge of age, of height, of anything. And I'm also apparently a bad judge of how many humans are near me at any time.
You might want to work on that.
Yeah.
I don't know where we keep coming from. I keep thinking that, like, there's only so many gay car enthusiasts in the world. And then every year I keep meeting more and more of us. We just keep appearing out of somewhere. I don't know where the portal is, but I want to go there.
Right. I wish we could just portal to all these locations and bring the cars, because I'm getting a little tired of road trips and planes lately. Someone asked if I was going to go to
how has your summer been? Because we went out to the West Coast.
I am so tired.
I would imagine so.
You're working.
So I was asked, the LA Auto Show Media Day is coming up on the 20th of November, and I was asked if I was going, and my response was hell no, because I'm so over planes and hotel rooms. It's been a really good summer. We've had a ton of really good events all over the country, and, like, I'm so grateful that all these people who aren't me have stepped in to plan all of these, and, like, I just show up and, give people hugs and tell them nice things. But the most recent after Pumpkin Spice, the biggest thing we did a ChampCar endurance race using my pink BMW. So this was something that I wanted to do since doing my first endurance race about 10 years ago.
Real quick, remind us what a ChampCar is. Yeah,
so endurance racing is a different concept than what I and many people do normally with, like, SCCA and NASA and Grid Life. That you would call that sprint racing. So, like, a 20 to 30 minute race. Endurance racing is what it sounds like. So you are given a defined period of time of multiple hours, and you are to run as many laps as you can in 2, 4, 6, 8, however many hours. And generally that means you have more than one driver, you have a crew, and where sprint racing, the goal is more to just go very fast and get ahead of everybody. Endurance racing is more strategy and math based, where you're thinking about which drivers do we have in when, what is our fueling strategy, how long can the car go on a tank, what do we do about tires, is the car reliable, will it brake, will it not? Because anytime you are off the track, not turning laps. You are being knocked down several pegs against your competitors, and then they pit in, and you're watching the timing, and everyone's going up and down. So ChampCar is one organization that runs these races. They used to be called ChampCar. If you've heard of the 24 Hours of Lemons, they're another one. Lucky Dog, AER, and WRL. They do stuff around the country. But I ran 2 of these with ChampCar when it was ChampCar. I did 2 24 hours at VIR, which was fun and horrible.
24.
Yeah. It was like through the night. August in Virginia, which I don't wish that humidity on anybody. But anyway, I know that now Champ runs a pretty good event. So I got talking with Connor, who's been on the show a couple times, and they live in North Carolina. We were talking at Rainbow Road back in April in the lobby one evening, and I just said, hey, I want to do this for a while. Connor also has been very eager to do something like that. And we were just like, you think Tom O'Gorman would come? So I called Tom from the lobby, and he was like, yeah, girl, I'll be there. Tell me what date. And then we just had to get the rest of the team. So we settled on Atlanta Motorsports Park, which is near Lake Lanier, outside of Atlanta, kind of northeast. And it was an 8-hour race on Saturday and then a second 7-hour race on Sunday. And we had a team of 5 drivers and 2 crew.
Those are 2 full days.
An interesting first day.
We did.
As I understand.
We did. So the way, and every group does classing differently. So ChampCar starts you off by engine displacement. So my race car is a 2.5, and it's like 2.4 to 3.0 is your group. So that's where we were based. But you put in your year, make, and model, and they give you a base number of points for just what the car is. And then you tell them what modifications are done, and everything you do adds points. The problem is that my car, being a Spec 3 from NASA, it is ultimately a very simple build. It is Coney yellow shocks, but they are adjustable shocks. It has camber plates, it has springs, and it has sway bars. And it has like an under tray that goes from the bumper to the sway bar. And all of that, when you get to 500 points, you start taking penalty laps. The problem is an E36 325i starts at 475 points. So we took 15 penalty laps. We were the only team out of 36 to take any penalty laps because we had not built a car for the series. And what that meant, I drove first on Saturday. My first 15 laps just didn't count.
Hate that. But I mean,
what a compliment, though. Your car was just that good.
She's right. She's just too
I
good.
was gonna say. I mean, showing up with a little bit of like the cheater car.
Right. Yeah, cheater car to an extent. Now it's
to an extent.
The Spec 3s are not really any like they're great cars to drive, but they're really not crazy modified to me versus anything you'd put on a racetrack. It's like it's suspension stuff and brake pads and tires.
Yeah, everything you just said was just suspension.
Exactly. We did have different tires than what I normally run. So we had a lot of support. Bridgestone provided all the tires for us. So big thank you to Bridgestone and Daddy Davis, who will be joining us in a week or 2 on this very podcast.
Absolutely.
And then FCP Euro also cut us a really, really good deal, bigger than what our members get for all the parts we needed to prepare the car. So it made it very accessible for everyone who was driving.
And the car made it through the whole weekend because, I mean, E36 and your car specifically is built for this kind of thing. So, I imagine like engine temps were good, brake pads held up.
She's a sturdy girl. One of our drivers, Saturday was also eventful because one of our drivers who typically races front wheel drive, has wheel to wheel experience, but there's a transition at Atlanta Motorsports Park where it's like a big sweepery left, and then you crest a hill and go to the right, and that's the front straightaway. And when you do that transition, there's a surface transition that gets the suspension kind of unsettled, and the car feels a little wobbly. And in front wheel drive, you would lift a little bit off the gas, and that would kind of tuck the nose back in. If you do that in rear wheel drive, that sends all the weight forward, and you start a tank slapper, which is exactly what happened to him. And he handled it as best he could, but that involved running the car down the wall on the front straightaway. just a bit.
Ooh.
So broke 2
Ouch.
wheels, trashed a tire, bent both fenders in, and otherwise added some speed dents. But again, kudos to the team, including the time that he was off in the sand trap waiting for a tow, the tow in, and fixing the car enough to get it back out there. We were down for 36 minutes. And with that and the penalty laps, we finished 4th out of 10 in our class.
That's super impressive.
Wow.
I was
4th out
really
of 10.
proud. Yeah.
Interesting. So you arguably could have won.
We could have. If we had not, I don't know if we had simply not crashed, if we had still had the penalty laps, I don't think we would have won, but I think we could have got second. Because 15 laps is really hard to come back from.
And I mean, you know how a golf ball is, right? All those little dimples help it sail through the air. You may have gotten an advantage from that wall.
Yeah, I'm leaving that for Spec 3 next year.
Is that why those Toyota Camrys on the highway are so fast?
Exactly.
That is exactly why they're so fast.
Ultimate drivers should take notes.
They're missing their hubcaps.
Mm-hmm. No, I was really impressed because I was following along with the social media posts during the race weekend and seeing the damage and then seeing everybody fix it. I'm always super impressed by that. And I know you have like a crew and you have tools and you have people who know what they're doing and everybody's on a rush to get it done. But it took me like 3 weeks to do a clutch. I can't imagine. I can't imagine like being in a rush on a racetrack in the pit, like trying to fix something to get it back out on track that quickly and then doing it. And then for the rest of the weekend, not having any issues with that. So I was super, super impressed by everybody and then the work they got accomplished.
It was, it's also really great to see the other teams, fighting for their survival. It's really a war of attrition. Our one competitor on Saturday in that class was the University of Georgia. They had an E46 330i that they were running, and they were battling constant clutch issues. I think there was a test day Friday, and something went wrong, and they replaced the entire clutch kit with what they could find, which was a Duralast kit from AutoZone or Advance, wherever they come from, which lasted 4 hours on Saturday.
Oh no!
And
endurance racing is no joke.
They were
built to
they had
last,
that car up.
Duralast,
right? Built to last till it don't. But they had that car up in the air so many times trying to get it running again, and they finally admitted defeat on Sunday. But they were borrowing parts off of one of their drivers' streetcar E46s to try and fix it. It was I admire their tenacity, and other people are doing the same thing. One of our competitors, we switched classes for Sunday to the unlimited class where you don't take penalty laps, but the rules are just wide open. And we finished second, and we were the most power deficient of everyone. We had a 350Z, a couple E46 330s, an LS1 swapped E36, an M235i. We had some hot stuff, and I think the E46s were closest in power to us, and we were still down by 40. But we finished second because of good driving and consistent driving, and also the M235i had to replace a fuel injector mid-race.
Oh,
that tracks.
Meanwhile, the E36 is just toot chugging along.
You say down by 40. What is the power output of the E36?
193 is what mine dyno's at.
Oh, okay.
And I guess it's not fair. I shouldn't say 40 because an E46 is what, 220? 225 for a 330?
A 330i?
But that's crank, not wheel.
Yeah, 330 is right about 220 something, yeah.
So maybe it's 210. Either way, we're down on power compared to them.
But yeah, the E46 is, I think a 330 is faster than a 325. So, if you're keeping pace on them with just suspension mods, the rest is the nut behind the wheel. And evidently it was very tight that weekend. Yeah.
And what was so nice to hear, and it was nice. This came from Tom O'Gorman, who, for those who don't know Tom, Tom used to race IMSA professionally for Honda. He was a Honda driver. He is incredibly fast. He is very well calculated behind the wheel and just good at what he does. And also national championship winning autocrosser and one lap winner and all this stuff. So Anyway, Tom made the point on Saturday or maybe Sunday evening that, you know, of the team of 5 drivers, the phrase he used was that none of us were anchors, and we were all within a couple seconds of each other, which I thought was really impressive given Tom is an pro driver effectively, and a couple of us have club wheel-to-wheel experience, and we had one person who had never driven wheel-to-wheel before and only autocrossed. And we just had a great team.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually very impressive if you've never driven wheel to wheel before, and to, get out there and I'm assuming, was this everyone's first time on this track?
I had been once before for a Bridgestone tire event like 2 years ago. I think Tom had been there before as well, but I don't think anyone else had. And it's like a 2-mile track. It's easy enough to learn, but it's just, yeah, it's a challenge.
We've got some talent in here.
Mm-hmm.
Talent's in the house.
My hope is to get Tom to join us for our sim racing nights, if I can get him to play Forza. And then I don't know, maybe real life skill doesn't translate to video game skill, and I can like feel really good about myself if I beat him.
I'm hoping to have him on here so you can ask him in person soon.
Yeah, okay, we'll do that.
I know he does do iRacing, so I think he's got a setup and I would assume some skill. I don't do any sim racing because I'm awful at it.
Yeah, no, he's probably really good at it.
Hey, you might have an off night.
I can dream.
So yeah, that was the race. It was really fantastic. We replaced the front brake pads after Saturday. The rears held on the whole weekend, and the car did not even burn a drop of oil. I brought it to my mechanic afterwards, and it did vibrate 3 exhaust manifold studs completely off. he texted me that. I was like, oh, it was a little loud. And he said all of the other manifold nuts were loose. So
wow,
it could just be from vibration plus the couple of offs we had. I drove the car off into a sand trap twice because I was focused on like how pretty the day was.
She's allowed to complain. That was 16 hours of just pure driving. She can complain.
Yeah.
Send her to the spa. Let her get fixed up.
Is that the most racing in one event that you've done with that car?
With that car, yes. The 24-hour races I did 10 years ago, which, wow, I'm old, were in an E36 328. So I knew the car would do it. Right. I'm experienced. I knew the car would do it. I knew roughly how long it would go on a tank of gas, which is about an hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours, which was helpful for our strategy. My mechanic told me he's like, the best sprint race cars make the best endurance race cars because you maintain it, you keep up with it, it. It's not some crap can you just turned into a race car last week. But I was still nervous. I'd say the first 3 or 4 hours of Saturday, I was like, is it going to go or are we going home early? I don't know. And, as the car owner and you say team owner or whatever, I wanted to make sure everyone else had a good experience because I drive this thing all the time. They don't.
Oh, look at you. So nice.
Dad.
I also drove first, so I got my stuff out of the way.
Well, you mentioned fuel. This is totally my hyperfixation. How much fuel did you use over the weekend? Over 15 hours of racing?
Girl, I can't do math.
Is that something you even track, or do you just use what you need when you need it?
So what we did, we had 3 5-gallon, we called them dump jugs because they have a faster flow rate than those typical red 5-gallon jugs you see.
That was my nickname in high school.
So those can empty 5 gallons into the car in under a minute each. So we had those, and then we had a bunch of other 5-gallon jugs that we were going to the gas station with off property to keep refilling. I could add up the total amount of volume, but anyway, we were using most of a tank every 2 hours, and a tank in that car is 16 gallons, I think. So 16 times.
2-mile track.
We did like 940 miles of racing.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Yeah, I did calculate the mileage.
That means you drove from Virginia to Florida in like 7 hours. And by highway speeds, it's 12 hours. So you shaved 5 hours by racing to Florida.
And what's funny when you put it that way, the way this track is and the way the car's horsepower level is, I wasn't running data, but I would bet the speed on the front straight before you hit the braking zone was like a maximum of 110.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't like we were like cruising, right up to where the car is out of breath. It was just, this is what it'll do.
Yeah, because that'll pull strong to like what, 125?
It'll do 130.
130?
It'll do 130 at VIR pretty easily. We had a guy go down to COTA. They did NASA national championships at COTA a bunch of years ago, and he went down, and I think with a draft he got it into the 140s.
Ooh,
which seems horrifying in a 325i, but like I guess it'll do it. So, like Mark is asking if it's a race mechanic that I use or any mechanic. So I take the car 2 hours away to be worked on from where I live. And this was also kind of funny because other teams, we were just chatting with who we were paddocked near, and other teams were asking us where all of us were from. So I gave them the roster of like 6 different states. And one of the teams, the one guy looked at me and he paused. He goes, "So how do you all get together to work on the car?" And I was like, "Oh, baby, I take it somewhere for that." Mm-hmm. But no, in answer to Mark's question, I have a mechanic who I've known for 10 plus years now, who has a shop a couple hours from me, and he does not do day-to-day mechanic work. He works for Bimmerworld full time, doing their like social media and marketing. And he does this all on the side. And he has this it's a big shop, but it's nothing super fancy, in a really cool old building. And he only works on BMWs and fast Fords. So he will do BMW race cars, he will do Mustang race cars, and he's got a couple of like full frame off body swap. Like he's got an old Ford truck that they're putting a modern frame under and a Coyote V8, and it'll probably be supercharged by the time it leaves. So that's all he works on. And he wants more project-y stuff. So he gets the car every winter and will do a full inspection and whatever it needs every winter. If it needed random work, like I could do it myself. I could take it to any other shop and be like, "Hi, this needs an oil change." Because the car is literally just a 325i. Nothing's like custom on it.
I know sometimes what did you have?
But
to
it's
tow?
like a race prep 325. So you roll up to Jiffy Lube and you're like, "Hey guys, time for my oil change," and everybody's just standing there clueless.
Yeah, but like it takes a regular oil filter, and you could put. I mean, I ran my last one on Rotella diesel oil.
Huh.
Like it takes oil you can get from Walmart. So, you need like race spec brake fluid, but
and you could just flog the shit out of it for 15 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Listen, in Germany, these things are taxis. Drive it like you stole it.
Exactly.
Did you have anything fun to tow it down with? I know sometimes it works out.
So Toyota was also brought in, and they gave us a Tundra TRD Rally to use for getting there and back, which is basically a base SR5 Tundra that has the what do they call it? Softex, the synthetic leather seats, vinyl. But it has heated Softex seats and like some of the TRD sport goodies. So it has like Bilsteins and sway bars and wheels and all-terrains and TRD badging and colors in the seats and stuff. It's mostly that with like a light off-road kit applied. So it's kind of a neat package.
A lot of style.
A bit of style, but it actually had enough off-road bits on it that I think it's kind of a good deal if you like how it looks. It towed fine. This is the Turbo V6
Good.
non-hybrid. And
Okay.
I deeply appreciate, so Toyota's loan limit is 300 miles. And I deeply appreciate Toyota letting me put 1,450 miles on their truck. Because I had to clear that ahead of
A little
time.
bit over the limit.
Yeah, I had to clear that ahead of time. And they're like, oh yeah, that's fine for what you're doing.
Yeah,
I did see your
Toyota's
post
been really.
with that truck. I kind of liked it. I didn't like the color, obviously.
It was just white.
What's wrong? What was wrong with the color?
I think you know what was wrong with the color.
I don't know because you're wearing a phenomenal shirt today.
I know. As I sit here in my white shirt, I was like,
For those who don't know,
should I mention it? Should I not? Nah.
For those who don't know, Ian, I won't say rightfully or wrongfully. However, he is tired of white cars. I, for one, have found a new appreciation for white cars because my car is white. And we've been running into a very weird coincidence that every time I link or post a photo of a car in the chat for like the last 3 weeks, some way, somehow they end up being white, and it's not my fault.
Yeah. Yeah. He'll message me. He'll say, "Ooh, look at this one." I'm like, "It's white. What do you want me to look at?"
Oh man, I've it's grown on me. It shows off the body lines. It needs to be a good pearl white though, with like some kind of flake in it. It's got to have a little bit of dimension.
My parents
case
have... Oh, go ahead, Abe.
In the case of that Tundra, I thought the white was okay, and they have like the I don't know what you call it, the Toyota racing colors, red, orange, yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Those accents were like really well placed on that truck, and I really liked the way it was styled.
Yeah, so I want to build this and see like what paint colors you can pick with this package. So yeah, it had the different tricolor like decals on it in places, and then the seats, they're black seats that had orange and red stitching, and then like an inlay behind, they're perforated, an inlay behind the perforations that had the tricolors as well. So when the sun caught it,
that's really cool.
That was a very cool detail that I actually really liked. But okay, how do I do this? And of course, if anyone from Toyota is listening, which I know they're so not, I have no idea how to build any truck on their web. Their build and price tool is awful.
That's okay. Come into our dealership today and talk to one of our new salesmen.
Right. I can order
You
things
can lease
like...
this truck for $555 a month.
Do
Zero
we know
money down.
what PVM and BSM tow mirrors mean? Because I can have those.
I don't know.
Well, blind spot monitor is BSM. I got you on that one. I have no idea what the other thing was.
I know what BDSM is. I don't know what the other thing you said was.
I don't know if Toyota's like in on that. They don't strike me as like those people. But anyway,
maybe
I
on
don't
the
know what
GR
colors you can get.
I don't know. The GR team's a little spicy. Maybe they get it.
Yeah. But I mean, the Tundra in general comes in the German racing rainbow and also navy blue and red. So
the red is so good.
The red is good.
What's it called? What's the name of it? Is it like
Supersonic red? It's the same as what was on the
red.
Was or is on the Camry. So it's got a little.
It's so good. It's
a good tone. It's got a little metallic to it, I think. Oh, and
they must have like. They must have once they got that contract where they were able to use Soul Red Crystal. They must have been like, hey, we got to step our red game up.
Well, I think Supersonic came before that because Supersonic was on Camry in like 2020.
Oh,
well,
but it's hot.
I just remember seeing a Supersonic red Tundra, and I was like, that's a lot of real estate for that really good paint, and it's so good.
And it works. Yeah. They also have a color called Mud Bath, which is exactly what you think it is. And I'm really over this trend. I'm over this trend of cars painted aggressive shades of matte beige and brown. Like it's...
Yeah, we need to just let go of the grayscale now. It's like we played that out so hard in the 2000s. Like, and Volvo is like the biggest culprit. Volvo is like, hey, this car is green, so we're going to take some gray paint. We're going to put a teaspoon of green in it and ship it out. Like, no.
Yeah, it's the LaCroix of green.
Yeah, I think the trend of like doing like the sand colors and the really flat browns is sort of like how when Audi came out with Nardo Gray, and then everybody started doing gray cars, and now everybody's doing like baby puke green cars.
And see, here's the thing. I thought Nardo Gray was really hot on an Audi with like the aluminum windshield trim and mirror caps and all that. And then, yeah, it just overused. And these sand colors, are... Ugh.
But
Yeah,
I talked about it this week, that sort of red, brown, terracotta shade on the interiors for leather. I'm a big fan. I'm a really, really big fan. I think BMW calls it cognac in the G35 series. More of that, please. Jake, you had it in a Telluride.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
like a cinnamon color. And I think we're seeing more of that. We're seeing good interiors overall. I'm going down the rabbit hole of what cars do my parents want to go shopping for, because this has been a perpetual conversation, I know, but we're getting to where I think right after the new year, it's going to be time to take this seriously and actually go do some test drives. I was on the Genesis Build and Price tool last night, and the GV70 and 80 both have fabulous interior options.
Yes, they do.
It's just the best. And they're not the only people doing it.
Trade right now.
I was still so disappointed. My boss just went with the black interior on her GV70 and not the red one. I was like, girl, treat yourself. Get the red one. You'll love it.
I have a friend who just bought a GV70, a 26, the facelift. And he got Sarah's blue, which is like this periwinkle blue color with the vanilla interior. And when you do the vanilla interior, you get orange stitching and orange seatbelts. It is so hot. I just want my mom to get that car.
Genesis is killing it with the color.
Yeah.
Killing it. I am so heavy on the Genesis train.
Agreed.
You love a Genesis. You even shopped one today.
I absolutely do. I am just patiently waiting until it's in the financial cards and the cards financially for me to pick one up. I don't even know which one I'd get. Hyundai Equus, Genesis G90, G70, G80. Can I have one of each, please?
You strike me as a G90 person, like an early G90.
Like a G90 person.
You need like a V8 G90.
Yeah, he needs some of that Korean luxury in his life.
Some luxury.
So speaking of things that are new, how do you guys feel about the new Nissan Leaf? I love it.
The silence.
I love how Ian are like,
wow.
I'm trying to collect my thoughts. Someone else can go first.
You collect, I'll word vomit. So I love the fact that it's not big. Like they kept it similar size. I think it might actually be a little shorter overall. Like it's like shorter and a touch taller, but we need more small EVs because not everyone wants a giant vehicle. And I think, we started that way as an industry because you can make more profit in, you can, people want family cars, blah, blah. But like, I don't want a Kia EV9. It's too big. But I think a Leaf is an appealing size for a lot of people. I think it finally has the range that will be usable. Like the old one was kind of iffy. It comes in that delightful bright teal blue. It's very like Porsche Miami blue. And I think the interior looks nice. So I think it's all compelling. I have a couple media friends who drove them. Nissan did like a first drive program, and I think they all seem to like them enough. So I'm curious to get some seat time because I drove the Aria, which is now dead in the US.
Yeah.
And it is dynamically not interesting at all. It is car.
Womp womp.
And like some of the controls and things were interesting design choices, but I thought it was just a totally pleasant, fine appliance-y type car that was like a little interesting. It had a little bit of quirky design to it, but it was still usable. So I think the Leaf could be that bit smaller.
Yeah, I love the sound of that for the Leaf. It makes it for just a perfectly good commuter. It's a little interesting. I think it depends on the trim level that you choose, but they have like interesting taillights. And if it does actually do 300 miles of range, I mean, that covers most people's needs. It won't be fast. It's no Lucid Air, but it won't also be $100,000, you know?
But it's still punchy-ish.
I mean, it's an electric car.
Yeah.
It's going to do what it does.
I will say it's where it loses me is that I'm convinced that we can make a sexy economical car. I don't know why they always need to look so bland.
I don't know if it looks bland. I think it's a great, as far as what Nissan is moving towards. I think the Leaf really works well with their upcoming design language. Jake mentioned the taillights, and I have thoughts, because the way that they've packaged it is, if you're not buying the top trim, you get the boring taillights. And if you get the top trim, you get the weird, like, horizontal vertical taillights that don't really make a whole lot of sense. They are cool though, because there's like an infinity mirror type style, which I think is very cool.
Love that.
Mm-hmm. And the teal color that they've shown off is gorgeous. I want to see more of that. But it is the only cool color that it comes in. Everything else is gray, white, black.
Well, they have
grayscale.
I'm looking at Edmunds. They have a pretty kind of brightish red wine color.
Oh,
like a Chianti.
Chianti in this economy.
So they're saying Edmunds, they do like a real world EV range test, and they had a Platinum Plus, which the EPA says will do 259 miles, and Edmunds got 310 out of it. So that bodes well for like efficiency and, overall capability.
I love that. This is promising. I'm not going to buy one, but I love the idea of it.
I mean, I might buy a used one, but depending on what they look like in 5-7 years. Because, I mean, a used Leaf now is dirt cheap, but then it's still got that air-cooled battery that you really don't want.
No, the early ones were, all of them have bad battery.
I mean, even the current one, it's like it's got all the modern Nissan stuff, and it looks nice, but then it's still got that 50-year-old battery. It's like the Power Wheels Jeep I had when I was a kid, just a little bit bigger.
It's just so interesting because that car is the early Leaf, not the Jeep, Power Wheels Jeep. It's one of those like very clearly like it was a big deal when it came out, and it just the tech got eclipsed so quickly, and then they just put their money into developing other stuff.
Yeah. And then when you look at like what happened with manufacturers all around doing EVs, the Leaf is literally a glorified golf cart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean, it just is.
Well, that's okay though. I love that. You know what else is a glorified golf cart? The i3.
But the i3 was clever because the i3 was a whole. So I'm pointing. The i3 was a whole thing that was like a carbon fiber design study and technology design study. Like that was intended, that and the i8 were intended to set the tone for future BMWs and figure out what's practical to do and what's not practical. So
fair enough.
The i8
and
is
the result was it was not practical.
It did not scale.
A carbon fiber tub in this economy?
Exactly. I really think the one that's going to be the challenger for the Leaf is the Bolt, because Miss Boltina Aguilera was dropped and is now coming back with modern tech and Ultium battery platform and all that.
I really hope that after all these years, they did one very simple thing: put a comfortable driver's seat in it.
Ooh, no, I think you're going to be let down.
Oh my goodness. I mean, come on. That's the only thing. That is the one thing.
Yeah. I think basically what they did, if I'm remembering this, so John Volker, who's not one of our members, but hangs around here and there. He did a piece for Car and Driver on this for what Chevy did to bring this thing back into production. And they basically took the Equinox EV drivetrain and stuffed it into the Bolt body and gave it like a facelift and an interior update. So the seat, like you get better, faster charging, longer range, more power, new electrical architecture. But I think the seats are pretty similar.
Individual church pews for everyone.
Yeah.
That one, I will be forever fascinated by that one. But I mean, I always like the Bolt and the Volt, actually. Speaking of the Volt, the Honda Prelude, don't those have the same drivetrain style of drivetrain where it's the electric battery that's primarily running it, and then the engine is mostly a generator?
I read all about this today because the embargo lifted for everyone who did the first drive. And the first drive was 3 laps around the Honda Proving Ground racetrack, which is a golf cart or a go-kart track. So I think there's a lot of rave reviews, and it made a really good first impression. I'm curious when we all get them for like a day at a time and then a week at a time, like, are they going to hold up? But yeah, so from what I understand, and keep in mind, I'm dumb. Now, when it comes to engineering, like, I am not the person you want to talk to, but from what I understand, it is largely acting like a Chevy Volt did, which is to say the electric motor drives the wheels, and the gas engine acts as like a generator to keep the batteries topped off. And that's how it normally works, unless you are steady speed cruising on the interstate, at which point it is more efficient for the engine to engage a clutch and drive the wheels directly. So that's the general premise.
Conceptually, I think I'm fine with this. I want to have a problem, but I don't think I actually care. A part of me wonders, why not a smaller engine that gets even more fuel efficiency? But they don't really have any other engines, so they're just going to use what they have, I guess. But then why not a bigger battery? My issue is I want the Prelude to have 250 horsepower.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I actually love it. I said this in the chat. It is sexy luxury MPG. Those are 3 things that are really hard to find outside of an EV and under $80,000. I would love to see this be the beginning of hybrid sports scoops that are like actually exciting. And so that's why I want to see more power, something that could replace my 86 rear wheel drive. But for now, I think this is a really good start.
I love the style. I mean, I think exterior, interior, they nailed it. I don't have a single, well, no, we all know that I'll find a problem with anything. But for the most part, I don't have anything to complain about.
Yeah, I like the style for the most part. I think I wish the side view, I wish the cabin was like raked a little farther back, or the nose was a little longer, or there's something that it looks a little pushed too far forward, but I need to see it again in person.
I really like that. I think it looks so unique. It doesn't, I mean, if you look at Civic coupes through the last 20 years, they all have that same sort of cab forward, sloping back style. And I think it looks so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's going to end up looking kind of more like an Accord coupe once we see it in person, based on what everyone's saying about the dimensions. When you consider that the new Civic is the size of the old Accord, it's going to be kind of big, but I like that. Give me a Grand Touring coupe that gets 50 miles per gallon.
Yeah, I think I'm just glad, to your point, I'm glad to see a 2-door coupe come out that is not expensive in the grand scheme of things. Everything's expensive. But like, it's not another BMW coupe. It's not an Audi coupe. Like, it's something that is mainstream brand, in theory attainable for a lot of people, or a chunk of people. Because I miss those days of like 80s, 90s coupes. And I'm sure there's a whole economic discussion we can have on like state of economy versus people buying practical versus fun and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I think I would love, to your point, Matthew, if this would kick off a little bit more of an era of not necessarily sports coupes, but just coupes
Style.
Oh, I see it. I see it already because there's rumors. I don't know if anything's rumors, but Toyota's going to come back with a Celica. Is the word on the street? And
They're gonna make a Celica. They're gonna make an MR2. They're gonna make you a sandwich. Whatever you want. Toyota's got it.
before you know it, Ford will come back with the Thunderbird. Maybe they'll revive Mercury for the Cougar. I mean, anything is possible.
Oh my God, Pontiac is coming back from the dead.
It all hinges on the success of the Honda Prelude. So get your wallets out.
You heard it here, folks. Buy a Prelude to save automotive enthusiasts.
Buy a Prelude and save the entire industry for enthusiasts.
The personal coupe is coming back, baby. Nothing can go wrong.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
I do love it though. I really if it's here in any sort of capacity where it's just sitting on a car lot where I can go drive one, I absolutely
you know
need to
what?
go drive one.
This has actually worked out because I had another thought and I wasn't going to bring it up, but I'm going to now, which is there's another cheap, affordable thing potentially coming in the future that we have to look forward to. It's the Slate truck.
Oh.
So we talked about the Leaf, we got the Prelude, and we got a truck. This is a 3-car garage here. We got a truck, a coupe, and a daily driver. Anyways,
and what do you want to talk about with the Slate? Because I got to sit in it. And they weren't letting people do that.
And just exactly how small is it? Like I see it and I think I want it. That's like my small Suzuki Jimny. That's what I want.
It's shorter than a Maverick.
Yes.
So it's I don't know. I haven't been in a Jimny.
Like physically shorter than a Maverick, but it does have a longer bed, correct?
It has, so
it's like half a foot or something like that.
When it's configured as a pickup truck, I think it's a 5-foot bed.
Yeah, because I think the Maverick is 4.5 feet.
The bed length is 60 inches, so yeah, 5 feet. But the truck overall is 2 feet shorter than a Maverick. So if you have it as a 2-seater with the truck configuration, you have the 5-foot bed. The one that I saw was configured as the SUV, which had seating for 5, and I could sit behind myself comfortably at 6'1". I think 3 across is going to be tight, obviously, but you could do 4 people. And it had a reasonable amount of storage space with the second row seat in there to where I think if all 4 of you had like a rollerboard suitcase, you could fit them standing up 4 across. I think it would do it.
I am a big fan of the SUV version with the removable top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can have either a squared off back or they call it like a fastback look. And then this one, so when you do that, they're claiming this is all going to be a kit you can DIY install at home, including the rear curtain airbags, which we're trusting like Brenda and Brad to install airbags in their own home. Like, all right. But
you're trusting me to install my own airbag.
So but there is a roll cage that you install first, and then like the roof and side panels are something you add after that. So you can also run it with no roof past the front seats and have open air, open sides if you want, or I think you could install just the roof and have open sides. So I think it's really cool. It's interesting. The video did very well on YouTube of my like walk around with it. A lot of people were complaining about all the things it can't do, and my response is that you're not the buyer.
What? Like
people
not tow a trailer,
right?
With
it
a
doesn't
car
have
on
the
it?
it doesn't have the range. It can only tow 1,000 pounds. It doesn't come with all these standard features. I'm like, you're literally not the right buyer for this thing.
Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of people mention that it doesn't have all-wheel drive. I'm like,
that too.
It doesn't need it.
Is it
Nobody
front-wheel
does.
drive or rear-wheel drive?
It's rear wheel.
Okay.
And
I like it. It's like old school rear-wheel drive because it's a solid rear axle, right?
So yeah, it's. I'll post a link. David Tracy did a great piece on the Autopian on what the suspension is, but it's basically an interesting, like, connected what are words? The drive motor unit and the half shafts and everything are all kind of connected as one giant piece. So like solid axle is a little bit of a misnomer, but it's not far off, I guess. I don't know.
It's like
again, I'm not the one to explain engineering concepts.
It's like a modern interpretation of it, if you will. Looks like you could have potentially up to a 240-mile range, which is great. Yeah, I'm kind of sold. I'm not in love with the plastic panels and like being wrapped, but I could potentially get over it for the right price.
I love that. I love it.
Really?
I think a really important thing when we're moving forward into the future of EVs, where everything's going to be powered by what is essentially the same thing, being able to customize it and personalize it and really stand out as a vehicle is going to carry a lot of value. So I love that. I want to see what people can come up with, even just in the slate, like their configurator for something that doesn't exist yet. I had so much fun going through and like customizing and picking the decals and the different sort of grill inserts that you can get. And like Jake was talking about, the SUV that he sat in had that sort of fastback style on it. I want to see them do like a bikini top version.
Yeah.
Where that's what I want. It's literally like the Suzuki Samurai of now.
Yeah.
And that's what I want. That's what I really want.
No, I think they totally will. I'm trying to think. They told me what they're targeting for number of accessories available at launch. I think it's like 500.
Wow.
So there will be ways to make this whatever you want it to be. To Mark's point of who's the right buyer. People who want it as like an around town sort of second car, only car, depending on what your life is like. I could see it being used for like a farm truck almost. That's easy to drive into town, that has enough creature comfort but is simple. First cars for people. And then the one thing that no one's talking about too much, but I think will be a slam dunk for them, is fleet sales. I think we're going to see a ton of these things, municipal governments, advanced auto type things, tradespeople, because it would not surprise me if they took the squareback SUV kit and just sold it without windows and made a panel van.
Yep.
And then suddenly
absolutely
every local city and town government buys 100 of them. Advanced Auto buys 1,000 of them, like whatever the numbers look like. And they all are just gray.
But yeah,
they put their
I feel like it's
whatever.
anyone that like a Maverick could work for or a Jeep could work for.
But a Maverick is almost $40,000.
Right. Exactly.
And this, I think, is going to be the single biggest challenge for them, which we don't know until they go on sale. They haven't announced pricing, but is the pricing, because the tax credit ended, which I think they were sort of relying on, sort of not. But how these things are priced, I'm curious. It's the accessories, because I think you could easily make this thing 40 grand, and then a Maverick is going to be nicer, air quotes. But if you do it right, you can keep it cheap.
Yeah, a Maverick's like a turnkey, like actual car, and a Slate is you start with the building blocks and then you make it whatever you need it to be.
I'm looking forward to it, and I could absolutely see me owning one and being very happy with it. Since we can't have the Suzuki Jimny in the US. I have a question for you two. Your aunt has sent you on a mission to deliver a sleeping kitten to its vet appointment in New Orleans for Maine. She needs this completed in 28 hours. Google Maps says that it is 23 hours nonstop to complete the trip. You can't wake the kitten, and you can't be late or you'll face dire consequences and your aunt will be disappointed. You have $2,500 to buy the best car for the job. What are you buying?
Now, before we get into this, I will say that this hypothetical feels very pointed towards something that Jake already has.
Maybe. That wouldn't be my answer, though. My knee-jerk answer is not that car.
Oh, okay. Well,
I got a deal on a really nice S-Class. I don't think that's where I would not find another nice $2,500 S-Class. So, Ian, you go first, though.
Okay. Well, I didn't have a chance to put too much thought into it, but I did decide that based on the criteria we have where we need something that is A, fairly comfortable because we don't want to wake the sleeping baby, and B, reliable enough that we're not going to break down on the way to New Orleans, I chose a 2008 Mercury Sable Premier.
Ooh. Those have some like sofas in the back.
It's a 3.5 Duratec, and it has a 20-gallon fuel tank, and it has the 6-speed auto, not the CVT from the Montego. So the Sable is the one we want, not the Montego.
Why this car? How did we land on this?
Because the budget was $2,500.
Funny enough, my answer was not far off from yours.
Oh.
I said a Lincoln Town Car, the nicest one from New York City I could find for cheap.
I mean, those limo taxis, you can get those for a dime a dozen.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could. I don't know. I'm kind of dating myself. I don't know if they're available like that anymore.
Super comfy suspension, soaks up all the nonsense. Should be hopefully be quiet, but even still, those big, because what you want are a cushion. Like regardless of what the suspension does, every now and then you hit a hard jolt that no matter what, it's going to come through. So you need something to pad that to keep the kitten protected. So you got to get a car with a really thick cushion. This is a Lincoln Town Car.
Or a really sleepy kitten. How many Benadryl can you give a cat before you kill it?
I'm taking $50 of this budget to make the kitten stay asleep.
Mm-hmm. The other thing I considered is that I would spend $2,500 paying someone to steal Jake's Mercedes.
I got to sit in it. It's really nice.
It is really nice. I'm in it for a lot more than $2,000, $2,500 now, though.
You've had that car for like a year, and I only got to see it by chance. I'll tell everyone on the internet, oh my God, it smells. It smells new. Like
it does.
I was just shocked. I sat in it, and like I've always said that I don't like the W140. I thought it was ill proportioned, and I didn't think the interior was that attractive. And then I sat in it. I shut the door, and it was so solid. It still smelled brand new. The carpet was still fluffy. The dash was perfect. The wood trim was perfect. And I said, okay, I get it. We don't even need to move it. I'm sold. It's in person. There is so much more presence and posture that it has. It feels nice.
And it's on monoblocks.
Yeah, the monoblocks go a long way. I really hate the wheels that it came on, which are going to go back on for the winter because the monoblocks have summer tires on them. It's a car that kind of grows on you, I think. And I share Matthew's feelings of like, it's not well proportioned compared to the prior gen 126, but the monoblocks help it. It's very slab sided, and like the history of the car and knowing how they made it taller because, the CEO or the design head or whoever hit their head on the roof getting in. So they made it taller, and then they had to make it wider, and then the track is too narrow. So the monoblocks help fill it out. It's a whole thing, but yeah. This is an interesting question you're posing, Matthew.
And it's not hypothetical. It's real. We called your aunt.
So she lives in Texas, but you're telling me the kitten's in Maine.
The kitten's in Maine.
Okay.
It's
All right.
in Kennebunkport. Okay.
She found it on Facebook Marketplace. She didn't look to see where it was from, and she's calling on you to go get the kitten.
Well, I think I would have a couple options I would go shopping for, and these are all luxury-ish but forgotten about, kind of. Because I think that, to Ian's point with the Mercury, it keeps you under the price cap. Infinity i35.
And it's luxurious.
Yes. From spent all this time. Infinity i35.
Ooh.
So my first thought was Lexus LS, and then I forgot that you can't really find those for that money easily. My dad had an i35. It is a Maxima in drag, and it is like comfy seats. I remember it being good ride quality. It is a rocket ship, and they put a limited slip diff in it, despite being front wheel drive. And it would do like 28 miles a gallon on the highway. So I think that would be a good option to where you could like run high speeds. It would be comfy. It would be quiet enough. The other one, and I know nothing about these, but an Acura RL.
Oh, good choice.
Love that one.
Yeah, like
That's a great choice.
I have to think it's big, cushy, reliable enough, but I know nothing about
I
it.
guess I would have reservations about whether or not you could get one for $2,500, though.
There are two
You still
on
can.
Facebook Marketplace near me for between $2,000 and $2,700.
And
Okay.
those
So 99
little-
and an
those
06.
J Series V6s will keep running.
Yeah. Oh, here's a white 2002 for $2,500 with 190K on it, and the bumper is mostly attached.
Sweet. We're going to catch a flight to New Orleans. You can head on over to Maine and grab the kit.
Great.
All right. It is 8:15 and we all have lives. I want to know, it's the end of summer. It's the fall, which means it's flavored coffee beverage season. You're heading out to Cars and Coffee in the morning. You're stopping at your favorite coffee joint. What is your beverage? Pumpkin
I'm
spice
bad.
latte for me.
I'm going to give you
He's-
the most disgusting answer. I just drink black coffee.
Mm-hmm. I was about to guess.
Do you not get anything frou-frou in the fall?
No, because see, here's the thing. There's a coffee shop that I walk to most mornings. I'm pointing like you can see where I live. It's a good morning walk, and they have good hot or iced coffee, and they have really good pastries, and they have some really good pumpkin muffins right now. And I would rather skip the calories from a frou-frou drink and eat those in the form of a pumpkin muffin and just have a black coffee.
That's very conscious of you, very healthy, very smart. I would have
No,
the
I just
muffin.
like to eat.
I would have the muffin and the pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah, you're double the flavor.
Yeah. I would do a pumpkin spice latte. I will have like one or two a season. But
Wow, Sprinkle Tits gets a brown butter, vanilla, and marshmallow iced latte. I need one.
That sounds
Where do you get that? Can I get one?
pretty good.
Yeah. Have you ever had brown butter?
I mean, I have a one of those. You know, you go to TJ Maxx and you find the counter that has all the syrups. So I have one that's brown butter.
It's so good.
it's a good flavor.
It's pretty good.
My other beef with a lot of these flavored drinks out is that it's too many pumps. So I have to ask them, like, give me half.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Ian, I cut you off.
No, if I had to choose a flavor, because I don't always do flavored coffee. I enjoy just put a little milk in it. I don't need lots of flavor. But if I had to choose like a fall flavor, for me, as soon as it's available, it's mint mocha.
Ooh.
Like as soon as it comes on the menu at wherever I'm at, and until it's off the menu, that's what I'll choose.
I am a big fan of that. We are going to wrap it up there for tonight. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Thank you so much for everyone in the live chat. Sprinkle Tits, Mark, Aris. that wraps it up for this episode of Out Motorsports After Dark. Next week, we will have an OMS member as our first guest. Tune in to hear about Marissa's latest adventures on the drift circuit and the drag strip. See you then, and thanks for joining us.
All righty.
Bye.